Welcome to the overview for Orbis, a game designed by Tim Armstrong and published by Space Cowboys. Orbis is a 2 to 4 player game of world building and strategic resource management. In Orbis, you are a god, like an actual god, and as a god you must create your universe. Gods will take turns taking lost lands from the ether and slotting them into their universe. Whichever god has created the most beautiful universe by the end of the game wins. Beauty is determined by the amount of creation points earned from placing land tiles. Now let's go over each component. There are 5 land tiles of differing colors and different functions. There are blue irrigation tiles, red volcano tiles, green forest tiles, yellow village tiles, and white temple tiles. Tiles are worth different amount of creation points depending on their activation cost. For example, this farm tile costs 1 red worshipper and 1 blue worshipper, and it has 2 benefits. First, you will gain the green reduction token, which lessens the cost of future tiles, and second, you will gain 1 creation point, which will help you win the game. Let's look at another. This is a volcano tile. In addition to the 2 red and 2 blue worshipper cost, the player must sacrifice 3 white worshippers and 3 orange worshippers from the ether. As a reward, this tile will net you 3 creation points, a large bounty. Let's look at worshippers. There are 100 worshippers in the game, 20 white, 20 red, 20 green, 20 yellow, and 20 blue. As the hand of God plucks a lost land from the ether, worshippers become frightened and flee to other lands. Other gods are able to take these lands with worshippers on them, and the worshippers are then placed in that god's inventory, which can hold up to 10 worshippers. As shown earlier, these worshippers are then used to purchase other lands from the ether. The game also comes with 10 divinities, also known as god tiles. Once during the game, each player will take 1 god tile, and this god will complete the player's universe. Each god grants a specific creation point bonus at the end of the game. For example, the God of Equilibrium will grant the player 3 creation points if they have activated 1 temple, 1 volcano, and 1 village. On the other hand, the Goddess of Nature will grant the player 3 creation points if they have the most validated forest tiles at the end of the game. There will be a certain number of gods available for the taking throughout the game, depending on the number of players. These are cancellation tokens. Cancellation tokens are placed on tiles that have not been validated. For example, this irrigation tile requires that one of the lower 2 tiles is of the green variation, but both are red, so this tile has not been fulfilled and a cancellation token is placed on it. These are reduction tokens. There is 1 in each of the 5 colors. There are 5 farm tiles in the game that, if taken, give reduction tokens. Once a player has a reduction token, they no longer pay the worshipper cost of that color. Finally, there are temple tokens. Temple tokens are worth a certain amount of creation points. Players are able to gain better temple tokens by having the most temples, which are shown on the white tiles. Let's quickly go over the universe tile placement. Land tiles are placed in the pyramid scheme. 5 tiles on the bottom, then 4, then 3, then 2, and the god is placed at the top of the pyramid. Universes start from the ground up, so players will start by building a layer with 5 pieces, and can build up once there are at least 2 tiles next to each other. Let's do an example tile placing. This middle blue tile looks good, so the player will take the tile. This specific tile costs an orange and a white worshipper, so the player pays the cost to the supply. In order for this tile to be successfully placed, it must be connected to a tile of the same color. In order for the irrigation aspect of the tile to be activated, then the tile must also be touching an orange tile in one of its lower 2 sides. The tile is activated and placed correctly in that its bottom 2 sides are touching both a blue tile and an orange tile. And that is the gist of the game. Players will take lost lands from the ether to place in their universes, which are in the shape of a pyramid. These lands cost worshippers and require different orientations in order to fulfill their activations and obtain creation points. Players will choose a god throughout the game in order to gain additional points depending on how they have built their universe. Whoever has the most creation points at the end of the game has the greatest universe. And that is it for our overview of Orbis. For more information on Orbis, head down to the links below, and we will see you in the next video.
Expensive shoes, you can get your own. Just gonna